It's the Belgian Grand Prix, the site of the maiden victory of the Jordan team in 1998. The venue that Michael Schumacher made his debut in Formula One. There is so much history here amongst the beautiful nature. 19 corners, 4.3 miles or 7 kilometers. There's over 100 meters of elevation change here, with long stretches of the lap spent flat out. Look out for the bus stop chicane. The final challenge before the temporary relief at the start-finish straight. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Cartwright, Leclerc, Sainz, Teo Porcher, Joe, Magnussen, Sato, Liam Lawson, Drugovich, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Albon, Sargent, Ocon, Button, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson is with us in the commentary box once again. The drivers are working so hard on these cars, and you've been part of that in all aspects, developing, testing, and driving the car. Tell us about that hard work.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. They're two very different mindsets. In the old days, of course, they used to cover up to 15,000 kilometers of testing in a season, and that role would be more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as possible, so that the data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When lining up on the grid for a race, however, a race driver's frame of mind is all about what they can get out of the situation on that day, and the car is the tool to help them achieve those goals.
And we're underway for the formation lap here at Spa. The cars begin their lap around the circuit that rises and falls to the hills of the Ardennes Forest. As always, the fans are here in their thousands, and the atmosphere is incredible. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which teams have got it horribly wrong? race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Tell me, Anne, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. After that brilliant race, Jenson Button deposes the championship leader and takes top spot in the standings. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Let's focus on driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
But there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
Let's move on to the constructors. The owner drivers team moved to the top of the table. There is also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action.